Hydrogen peroxide rocket bike. Eric Teutul, I got to show you something for the gentleman online who said that this thing has a throttle. Eric, could you please twist that for me? Could you please twist?
No throttle, just push here, open.
That's it, no throttle.
No throttle.
So when you push that button, you're on.
No comeback.
How do you know that you get just the right amount of fuel?
I don't know.
Well, you've got to stop the damn thing as well. So that is what I spoke to Eric yesterday. I had a chat with him on the start line, and he said that is his biggest restriction or issue, if you like, is, well, it's fairly obvious, but getting stopped. I mean, quarter mile racetrack, half a mile of braking area, and he still has trouble slowing it down, you know, in that amount of time. And I asked him what probably everyone was thinking, hopefully, which was, why does he need a paddock? Doesn't quite know what to do. And obviously, he's the man in the seat, he's the meat on the seat, so to speak, and you're not going to argue with him because no one else is going to say it. Two boosters now, back, do. That's where he gets stuff so long, loads of knots. Like a bit of music, when we're done, we leave the rocket cameo, launch down, lead 5 to 1, then go. Not yet.
I would say that's about a 2 mile way to do that. 198 to 60 foot, 8 mile, 3.61, 232 miles an hour. He was actually off it before the finish line. If that thing ever got going, probably didn't stop
All right, guys, we got a developing story over here in the lanes. I thought Larry McBride was the Spider-Man, but we got a new Spider-Man. Let's check this out. This is the Kawasaki KZ Sportsman Spider-Man. I love it. What is your name, sir?
Zach Clark,
And where are you from?
Owensboro, Kentucky.
How long have you had this very cool paint job?
Several years.
Okay. What inspired it?
My daughter liked Spider-Man at the time, so that's what we went with.
Are you a Larry McBride fan by
yeah.
chance?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
For sure.
Well, that's pretty cool that you guys share the same exact livery.
Yeah,
Maybe someday Larry could sign this.
there you go.
Maybe you could sign his bike. Who knows?
Sounds good.
Is the Spider-Man paint job going to lead you to a victory today?
I hope so.
Yes, guys, unfortunately, that's how it all ended for the famous motorcycle known as Blue at a match race in Adco, New Jersey in 2015. But wait till you see what's going on now. Guys, we have mentioned how the first motorcycle ever in the fives, Blue, is coming back together, but with some updates. The legendary Steve McBride, the expert machinist, has made something new. What did you make over here, Steve?
It's a dry sump oil tank.
Okay. Now show me why you had to make a new oil tank for this bike.
Well, this is the old original oil tank. It really isn't the proper shape for an oil tank.
Okay.
On this one, if you had the oil level off by a half a pint, you would take a bearing out.
Let's take a look at what you've done here.
With the round oil tank, which makes a cylinder of oil which can't go away from the pickup, which picks up from the very bottom of the tank.
Man, that's amazing. How many hours do you think you got in that so far?
I'd say probably about 55 hours.
55 hours, guys. Nobody said.
But that's
Good work
making
comes quick.
That's making the umbrella for oil separation. It's making a baffle for a 5-inch tube instead of a 7-inch tube. And this is also part of the baffling tube, which all this connects together in series.
Wow.
And this is the cap that caps it all off.
Now, while you have that in your hand, could you please do what we did off camera and just let me... How much does that weigh? That's ridiculous. It's like a... man, I don't even know what to compare it to. It's so light. It's
60 thousandths thick all over.
Feels like a coaster, maybe even lighter. Wow. So Steve, here's the big question I want to leave you with is right here we have Star, the state-of-the-art record smasher 550 265. Over here we have good old Blue. What's Blue mean to you to be able to put it back together?
It means a lot just to be able to put it back together and maybe take it out one more time and just see how bad it really is.
With what you guys have learned, Larry said that he thinks there's a lot more potential in Blue. What do you think?
I agree. Blue's 100 pounds lighter than Star and got quite a bit shorter wheelbase compared to Star. It's only a 100-inch wheelbase, but it always 60-footed really good.
Yes, it did.
So with a few updates to the fuel system, the oil system, I would say Blue's probably capable of 550s as well.
Ooh, I can't wait to see it, Steve. Great job, man. We'll let you get back to work. Thank you so much.
Right on.
And there is Blue. Blue has certainly set a whole lot of history and won a whole lot of races. And guys, when I said won a whole lot of races, I wasn't kidding. How great will it be to have Blue back? Comment down below if you ever watched Blue run, if you want to share your enthusiasm for welcoming back the first motorcycle in the fives. Let us know.
They should never pedal these bikes, but when it comes down to fighting for who's going to win a round of racing on race day,
Ready?
Strong lead for the 20-time champion. Oh, McBride drifting towards the retaining wall. Wisely chops the throttle. What went wrong? We're going to have to take another look. Remember, this team just made several changes to the chassis. They are continuing to tune it and refine it. Let's take another look at this launch. A strong 60-foot time for the 20-time champion, but then right towards the wall. We'll see if they can fix it and bring it back up here in this video.
Boy, John.
How you doing, John?
It's rare to see Larry move towards the wall like that. What are you saying?
I just think it got loose right here, and it just pulled him over. Just a track. Got to be the track. No change in the setup from last night. So.
Next up, it's Jason Pridemore and his awe-inspiring V-twin supercharged Nitro Harley known as the Gunslinger. Strong launch for the Gunslinger. He's trying to become the first Harley in the 5-second zone. This looks good. Oh, he drops a hole. Big puff of smoke. Still goes 617 at over 200 miles an hour. There is so much potential in that amazing motorcycle. Congratulations, Gunslinger. Let's check in with Rich Vreeland up next. Oh no, a malfunction on the start. Thank goodness everybody's okay. Again, Nitro, not your friend.
Did I just get the present of a lifetime? Thank you so much, my man. I appreciate it. Wow, that's awesome. And that's a good looking shirt. Where'd you get that?
I got it from my friend Jack.
Excellent.
CycleDrag.com.
Is your name Jack from?
My name's Jack as well.
Wait, you're Jack from CycleDrag.com too?
I'm Jack from CycleDrag.com.
This is confusing, but I love it. How you doing, young lady?
Good. I was wondering where my cycle drag shirt is.
There you go.
Get yourself a shirt. Expert photog Warren Petty has one. More Top Fuel coming.
Sticker, what's your name, sir?
Brian Merrick,
Where are you from? Where are you
Florida. Florida, Palm Bay. I watch you on YouTube all the time. You do the best commentary that I've ever watched in my life.
I'm flattered. Thank you so much for watching, my friend.
Thank you, Jack. Keep working, man. You keep the sport alive.
One now. One and one.
All right, you know on Cycle Drag, we are big Kawasaki fans. Today we're talking about the ZX14 versus the ZX12 and some of the challenges when it comes to working on these bikes. As I said, we love them. We see them at the drag strip, but we're asking you in the comments, why did Kawasaki make a big change on the 14. Let us know what you think down below, and I'll tell you what I'm talking about. So again, here is the ZX12. This was the bike that predated the 14. And then we evolved. The Kawasaki ZX14R, made to compete with the Suzuki Hayabusa, and it has done so successfully. But we have heard how the Kawasaki's are more difficult to work on. And one thing in particular is the fact that the cylinder does not come off from the case. Let's take a look. All right, we have Jack Robinson here from Dark Side Performance. Jack, we got a ZX12 motor and a ZX14 motor side by side. Explain the big major difference that has a lot of drag racers scratching their head.
The major difference is this is a ZX12 motor. The cylinder block comes off as one unit and the head comes off as one unit. So then we switch over to the ZX14. Every year they've ever made them, when you split the cases, your cylinders are still part of the top case. So the only thing you can take off really is the cylinder head and the bottom case and pull everything apart. It makes it a little bit harder to machine. And also too, if you destroy a cylinder, you might as well be looking for cases in those instances.
Now, I'm sure Kawasaki had a reason for doing this. What do you think the reason is?
I think it was money.
How so?
Cheaper to manufacture.
Wow.
Not so many molds. You make one mold instead of 5.
Now, you know, drag racers, as much as we change parts and hurt parts, this is not something that ever was real popular in the drag racing world.
No, it wasn't.
And I'll tell you what I think about. You know who deserves so much praise, and I wish this bike was still here, still in existence, still out on the drag strip. The bike that Joe Koenig with Trimtex and Ryan Schnitz got together with the great legend Rob Muzzy and built for the NHRA Pro Stock Motorcycle category. Rob Muzzy took one of these engines right here and nearly had it competitive with the Suzuki GS.
Correct.
Isn't that crazy?
It is. It's quite a feat to do, because that Suzuki GS is still a motor that's hard to contend with, even for the Busas.
And with the limitations that you have here, with that not coming apart or unable to make it any bigger, it's truly amazing. But we do love Kawasaki, and as evidenced by all the guys out there winning on them, they're still great bikes either way.
I would have to say the same thing. They're just heavy.
Maybe we hope if Kawasaki is getting ready to come out with the next gen of the ZX14, maybe they make it a little bit more friendly for motorcycle drag racers. Let's hope. Let us know what you think down below in the comments. Unfortunately, some of the carnage here from Tony Rogerio's bike. Jack, what do we got going on?
Well, we burned a hole in a piston. Scored the inside of the cylinder all the way down. Broke a bunch of rings.
Wow.
And then,
You're right.
best part,
You told me. It's okay.
Not right.
burned it right through.
My.
Built up way too much pressure, blew the oil all over everywhere.
Oh my.
I had to help me because I was busy at the shop.
Bob, I wanted to wear my pretty shirt long.
The old adage, nitro is not your friend. I
It
think
is
comes
not
into-
your friend.
Sorry
And-
about
and
that.
ring gap is very important. Ring gap was a 23 as opposed to 56.
Some serious carnage. Fit on that pretty nicely. What do you think? another sign that it's a strange year. You're telling me no time slips this year?
Well, they've tried to do away with time slips, and everybody's supposed to be on an app for some reason or another. And of course, you would think all these racers and pro level people would be real techie about it. I'm still not. I haven't got the app, you know. So I don't know if it's because I went from an iPhone to an Android this year, and I'm just lost in life, you know. But no, we're supposed to be on an app, and we're supposed to be going all digital. So look out, drag racing world. We want to get back to pushback girls and time slips.
There we go.
Ones that you can staple on your bedroom wall. You know?
Yes.
Hopefully next lap, right?
There we go.
Have you guys ever seen an RC drag car? If not, you're about to. This is wild.
Hi.
What you gonna do? I got a car too.
Just like anything else, we bet money on these, huh?
Everything. Don't matter. My bet money on you.
I got turbo on mine though.
That's fine. That's fine with me all day long.
It's got slicks on it.
Right. He said that's his slow one. I don't believe him. Oh, that's not slow. Look at the tires flaring up.
It doesn't look that slow, does it?
Yeah, that tire's flaring up like a motherfucker. What kind of car is that?
Super J.
Woo.
I think trouble hooking up.
What have we been pressing? Right there? Yeah. We hook right here. Yeah. There ain't nothing here.
Bring it back. Bring it back. Bring it up. Let's see what it do.
It's a good stunt car.
That ain't no slow car. Shit. That ain't no slow car. That's one of the slowest.
Oh no!
It ain't. It's just spinning. Making so much power. I need my computer to tune it. I don't think my phone will tune it down here.
You can tune it on your phone?
Yeah.
No way. This is like your ECU? I've seen it all. The Harley-Davidson VRX SE, better known as the Screaming Eagle V-Rod Destroyer, a motorcycle that certainly has a very important place in drag bike racing history. We know that factory involvement is so important. Look at Supercross, look at road racing. Well, in 2006, when Harley said they were coming with an out-of-the-box from the manufacturer drag bike, it took the world by storm. HDRA, the All Harley Drag Racing Association, even had their own class for these things. They were deep into the nines. Guys like Ellie Tonglet, Doug Horn were absolutely flying. It's truly a collectible and awesome motorcycle. Hopefully, we see the factories make more drag bikes in the future. Another icon of motorcycle drag racing, the late, great Dave Schultz. Now, you may be saying, that's not the Sunoco Hayabusa. No, it's not. This is where Dave started his pro stock motorcycle career, the one and only Kawasaki H2 750. This is what pro stock looked like back in the 70s. This machine was unbelievable. And guess who he did it with? Paul Fast by Gas. If you watch this channel, you know Paul appears here a lot. He is still at it. He's still super fast. He's told us some stories from these days. And boy, just a golden era 74 horsepower and a wicked power band. Could you imagine this thing? Put together by the great Paul Gass. It had welded up transfer ports and a bunch of sneaky tricks in here that made this machine go 856 at 156 miles per hour. Truly immaculate, truly beautiful, and would you expect anything less if Paul Gass and Dave Schultz were involved? And depending on how far back you go with motorcycles, you know that before the Japanese manufacturers came on strong, there was Vincent. And as Jay Leno talked about, nothing was badder than the Vincent Black Shadow. If you owned this, you had an extremely fast motorcycle in the 1960s, about 1,000 cc's, about 70 horsepower. It was known as the Vincent Black Lightning, a stripped down version of the Black Shadow. Extremely rare, and at one point it was the world's fastest motorcycle, the first to break the 150 mile an hour barrier. I ask you now, would you go 150 miles an hour on this? I'm telling you, we're spoiled today with the safety and technology. Let's stay in the 1960s and a very famous machine that also came out of Great Britain. Alf Hagen of London, England, a very famous man who was way ahead of his time. This 1960 Hagen JAP. JAP stands for J.A. Prestwich. That's who built this V-twin. Supercharged, a chain-driven supercharger. This motorcycle coming in at 1,096 cc's was way ahead of its time. Take a look, guys. This is what drag racing was all about on two wheels in the year 1960. And again, look at the tires. Look at the frame. Looks more like a bicycle than a motorcycle. Some truly brave and courageous men. Alf was an innovator. He was also a very accomplished rider. Many championships were won on this Sprinter. Truly amazing. What an amazing shrine. The last time I saw John Myers was 1996. I was only 12 years old. My dad and I were in Adco, New Jersey for the AMA Pro Star race. We talked with John. We got his autograph. We told him about, my dad has a vintage two-stroke, an S2 350. We told him about that. And he sat down, he talked with us. He had a genuine conversation. He was interested in what we had to say. And I never forgot that about John Myers. A true gentleman. I don't think I've ever, in fact, I know, I've never heard any bad John Myers stories. He was great for the sport and sorely missed. R.I.P. John. It's so nice to see you enshrined here as you deserve. And how cool is this, guys? The Spiderman and Chris Hand are here. Big thanks to JT Norton, who made this possible. Two of the fastest, two guys that you see quite often on this channel, Larry McBride and Chris Hand. Great to see them. This is so awesome. This is the centerpiece of drag racing. It's amazing. I'll tell you what though, guys. Before I leave, I think I should go on a quest to show you some other amazing motorcycles. Why don't I show you the absolute best of what I can find? Thanks for rocking with me. And as I said before, if you have any information about these, if you have any questions, if you have any stories, leave them down below. I want to hear from you. I know so many of you have seen these motorcycles run in person. And this is crazy, guys. Apparently the fad is so popular that we even have some adults here racing junior drag bikes. We caught up with them earlier. They say they love the fact that you can go get a $100 lawnmower engine and have some fun. Big kids being kids. Feel about this. I think let's leave it for the kids, right? And here comes some more of them. Is this a great way to grow the sport or what? Come on. Like I said, you've seen these videos before on Cycle Drag YouTube, RMC, Santa Pod, England, but rarely in the United States has this been allowed to happen. Good thing or bad thing? Let me know. All different levels too. That's what's cool, guys. Everything from a PW50 to a sport bike for these young kids. Thank you so much, guys, for watching some of our greatest hits. There's much more coming if you like that. Here's another video for you. Subscribe right in the middle. And if there's anything fast motorcycles, we're in. Cycle Drag rolls on.